Hello, Friday Noontime Facebookers. Stevie Coyle here with the Friday Noontime webcast from Mighty Fine Guitars in Lafayette, California. Thanks for asking. One guitar to show you today by Tony Klassen. It's a dreadnought. It's a kind of a Euphonon, Larson Brothers guitar. And here it is. First, no, I always do this. I always get out of order. I want to make sure that the signal is going out. Yeah, good enough. Good enough. I think we're happening. Come on in, everybody. I'll thumper and make some noises for a second here until you all get in. There's one of you. Like I say, the internet, for whatever reason today, is a little spotty, sunspots, I don't know. But check out this guitar. I sit here doing my thing, and people walk in with these lovely guitars for me to help them sell. And here it is. It's big, as you can see, by the fact it makes me look like Kilroy sitting behind this thing. Tony Klassen, Klassen, built this guitar. And it's in the style of the Larson Brothers and their Euphonon brand. They built for lots of companies, Maurer and Stahl and Euphonon. Wow, big. Now, it's big in dimensions that are comfortable and uncomfortable for some people. What I like about it is it's that big dreadnought body, which typically is a little big even for me, but it's got the wide fingerboard, 1 3/4 inches across the nut here, instead of 1 11/16, which is much more typical of dreadnought bodies. Really loud, really forward, because aside from the Adirondack top, maple back and sides, and beautifully sunbursted, beautifully bursted, big guitar. Oh, and you know what? I've left my my spec sheet over there. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Knew I'd forget something. You can count on it. Here it is. Dry your tears. I found it. Coming back with details for you on the Tony Klassen guitar. Hi, everybody. All 7 of you, do feel free, if you're so inclined, to let people know that this webcast is going on either now, live, Friday afternoon Pacific time, shortly after the noon hour, on April 5th, or at some future time. Feel free to send this out to folks and let them know that there's a discussion going on of a Tony Klassen New Era is the brand name, built by Tony Klassen, Klassen. This is kind of the Style 7. Pretty fancy. There's everything from Style 3 to Style 8, I think. This one is this one is a 7. It's so big and so loud. Tony Klassen built for Bacon and Day. He built guitars he didn't build for them. He built in the style of Bacon and Day, Recording King, Tonk, and Larson Brothers, of course. This big old kind of pickard is sort of Larson Brothers signature stuff for the Euphonon brand. Way back when. Just playing that much. Delightful surprise is that this guitar has some whump to it. A lot of people see maple and they think, oh, it's going to be brittle, it's going to be nasal. Not so. That's got some punch to it. And I dare say you're not going to be laughed out of the bluegrass circle if you show up with this kind of dreadnought, even though it's not a Martin. Really clear, really forward, a beautiful balance of woods. I would have thought a guitar like this would be all forwardness, would be all bright and forward. This has boom to it as well. Wow. And it's just gorgeous, beautifully made. Everything is just right. I'll give you the whole view here, make sure that we've got a shot of the whole thing. Subtle features as well as bold ones. The neck is bursted as well, in a subtle and lovely way. The sides, this part of the guitar, I always think is kind of important to consider because you're going to be seeing it a lot while you're playing it if you end up buying this guitar. For $5,800 American dollars, $5,800 is the asking on this. Great value. Lovely, lovely thing. So that's kind of flat picking it. You can play any kind of style on any guitar. That's been my motto. I'm finding myself encountering a little bit of cognitive dissonance to play a guitar this big, but that has 1 3/4 across the nut instead of 1 11/16. I'm slightly discombobulated, even more so than usual. Enter and sign in, please, internet viewers. Do let me know where you're signing in from. It's always fun to play the faraway game. Who wins the faraway prize? Would you like to play the guitar? Carry money home in a jar from a coffee house or a bar? Or would you rather It's a joy to play. It's set up beautifully as well. Guitars come in here and sometimes the action is a little higher than I would like. And I tell you folks, I'm no longer heroic about string action or string gauges. I like it low and light myself. And this one has plenty of punch. You can hit it nice and hard. I say you can hit it nice and hard without rattling the strings, but it's a dead easy play in the left hand. That's a lovely tune. I should learn it someday. It's a joy to play. Tony Klassen, New Era, Dreadnought in the style of Euphonon, Larson Brothers, 5,800 American dollars. Come and get it, is all I got to say. Man, oh man, what a sweetie. Well, let me see who's here and say hello, answer any quick questions that you might have. Make sure I read you out all the cool specs. Oh, 25.5-inch scale. Thanks for stopping in.
Thanks for
Good
having
to see you. You bet. A hot hide glue construction. 2 5/16 string spacing at the bridge. 1 3/4 at the nut. 12-inch fingerboard radius. What else do you need to know? Let me see who's here. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. Sharing a little bit of your Friday lunch with me. Hi, Ken Bonfield from Gloucester, Mass. Gloucester. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Ken. Wow. That's what I said, too. Larry Pattis is watching. Some great guitar players here, folks. If you're not hip to these people, Google them up. Ken Bonfield, Larry Pattis, YouTube them, if you'll pardon the expression. John Green, very good. New Mexico. When last we met, you were on the East Coast, I believe. Roger Bolt, it is a superb guitar. It really is. Hi, Alan, from Augusta. You're there for the golf. Very good. And Bill Voss, very good. Bill and Jenny, terrific. John Reynolds, hey, John. Jill McAnally, Gary Nugent, Chris Gasparo. I feel like Miss Nancy on Romper Room. And I see so-and-so and what's his name and good old, what's her name? Nancy Paul. Very good. And James Duncan. Thanks for stopping in. Do you know Bunny Barnes typically does a show at 1 o'clock, I nearly said American time, 1 o'clock Pacific time. Check her out, Bunny Barnes. Often a really fun, informative, fingerstyle focused show. So check her out. I'll play just a little bit more. If you got any comments or questions, stack them up down below there, and I'll answer them after we button up here. I don't want to hold you online forever here. Wow, surprising. If somebody handed me this guitar, I wouldn't have guessed maple. It's really light, and it's got boom to it. Of course, there's a lot of air volume inside, which accounts for that. But often, maple has a reputation, half deservedly, for being nasal or brittle or bright or too, you know. Big guitars, big Martins in particular. The Martin sound to my ear, your mileage may vary, but I've always thought that Martins do something in the low mid-range. They've got this cool saturation sort of in the low mid-range. And this guitar doesn't do that. This guitar has intense articulation all the way through the range. More pianistic, more like a piano. Says the guitarist. What do I know about pianos? It's a treat. I'm going to spend much of the rest of the day playing this very guitar. Once again, Tony Klassen built it. His company was New Era. It's in the style of Larson Brothers, Euphonon, Dreadnought. Big-ass guitar, but sounds fantastic and articulates great. Could use it for all kinds of stuff. I'm finger-picking it, and it sounds fantastic. There's none of that muddiness that can be associated with Dreadnought guitars. Don't know whether to put it, I'll probably put it down to the maple back and sides. which is gorgeous. I don't know if you can see that doing its mapley goodness thing. Kind of a lenticular postcard there. Let me know if there's other stuff you'd like to see in the shop here. I've got a whole bunch of guitars going up on the website soon. A whole bunch came in, a whole bunch went out. That's the way I like it. But if there's anything in particular you'd like to see, let me know and I'll see if I can feature it in a subsequent. I've got a couple of more new guitars to show you, so for the next couple of weeks I'm probably stacked up. But if there's something on the website that I haven't done a feature on, do feel free to hit me up for that. And do feel free to stop by the shop, of course, in the heart of Lafayette, California, in the Tri-Cities area, in the La Miranda area, Lafayette, Moraga, and Orinda. La Miranda, right downtown. And right next to another fine music shop, La Miranda Music, that features everything but high-end acoustic guitars. That's kind of all I feature, and that's the only thing they don't feature. They've got some pretty high-end ones, but I got the good stuff. So there. Hit me up with any kind of requests you might have. Do feel free to stop by the shop. If there's anything you'd like to have me ship to you for the cost of shipping both ways, that's the only thing that I'd need to require from you. Let me know. That often happens as well. If you don't like the guitar, you send it back and just cover shipping both ways. Standard procedure. You got, whatever you need, 24, 48, 72 hours, some multiple of 24 hours to examine the guitar and make sure that you like it. And I do online auditions. I do online, demonstrations, demos. I always hesitate to use the term demo because construction people, it means demolition. I'm going to demolish this guitar for you, folks. But I do online demos as well. And with this setup, it's pretty good. You kind of, I think, with my little Raspberry microphone by Blue and an iPhone these days, it's astonishing. I think you can get a pretty good representation of what the guitar sounds like and looks like and all that sort of stuff, and we can talk about it during your demo. So feel free to hit me up for that as well. And with that, I will say a hearty and sincere thank you and goodbye until next week for the Friday Noontime webcast. Stevie Coyle here at Mighty Fine Guitars. Down the road, y'all.